Live, laugh, It swallows temples. It is harmonious.
If I...
Your waves lap at our shores. When will you... Your waves lap at...
Welcome back to my satisfactory playthrough. This is episode 4 now, I believe, and as you clearly saw before this, I've collected a few power slugs. So I collected 20 blue, 9 purple, 15 yellow, as well as quite a few summer sloops and mercer spheres. So now that I have 10 mercer spheres, I'm going to come over to the MAM and upgrade feel like the speed once, because I need more dimensional depots later. Just listen to Ada quickly.
Dimensional upload speed increased. Part of the kinetic and thermal energy released during matter conversion has now been repurposed to aid with dimensional shifting, allowing for more parts to be transferred in a short time frame.
Loop the veins. Use the flow. Make a curve out of a line. Your shallow minds create shallow solutions. Pretty ripples.
Shallow mind? Pretty ripples? I certainly hope that wasn't meant to include me.
Never realised there was a power slug so close. But now I've done that in my blueprints. I have a power slug converter blueprint, which I can use to just quickly convert all of my power slugs. So over to here, put everything into the chests, just let it do its thing. I also have a slight suspicion that somewhere in the map I have more mercer spheres and summer spheres, because I have a ton of dismantle crates. So if I'm ever near one of these, what I plan to do is get rid of them. And it looks to me like I have a dismantled crate over here, so I'll start with that. But once I've done that, I reckon I should probably get on to making my quartz factory. There's nothing of value on here. So yeah, I plan to make a quartz factory today. I'm over by some quartz nodes over here. And that is where I will be building the factory, or probably in this area here is where the factory itself is going to be made. But I'll use those quartz nodes there to build with it. But I reckon it's actually going to end up being decent, so I'm going to really quickly design the factory in Satisfactory Calculator. Then I'll come back to you and explain how it works. Then I'll lay down the basic machines and get everything running and see how long that takes me. So I'll come back to you in a minute. So I spent a bit of time looking in how to make it, and through the advanced mode on Satisfactory Calculator it kind of shows it a bit better. So the way it's going to work is by using a Mark II miner using 167.143 units of quartz. It will then be split like this, with 67.5 going into the pure quartz crystal recipe, which then makes 52.5 quartz crystal, but then we have 61.07 going into a 90% one, coming out at 47.5 a minute, converging into 100 per minute quartz crystal. Then the other, about 40 quartz, goes in to make cheap silica using 64.29 limestone, being merged together to make a 90 silica. The reason I had to do this is because the nodes which I'm working on are 2 impure nodes. Each one of these can then do... I just realised that math is incorrect, but... So you can double everything I just said, because each one of these usually does 30, now does 60. 60 times by 2.5 is 150 output each. Which now means instead of having 100, I can have 200 and 180. And if we switch this to the simple mode, we can then see that items at 334.286 units of quartz can be made. And using this, we can see that 60 times 2.5 is 150. 150 times 2 is 300. Which actually means I need to change the recipe slightly. It's 170. 150. Maybe bring this down to 180. So 180 quartz crystal, 150 silica can be made, which I think is plenty for this factory. So I'm going to get to work laying it out, and I'll come join you either once it's finished, or if I come across a problem such as recipes and whatnot, and see if there's anything I can do about changing them. So I'll see you then. So I spent a few hours building it. It's just on a simple platform here that I just did out of concrete. It goes on quartz, comes from over there, limestone over there. Down there there's a spider which I didn't get to clip, but you see the remains there. And then that's where the water comes from. It comes along the pipe, it's pumped up to here, and it goes into those refineries there. It's simply, but each one of these is on the next 15 minutes, it's 150 silica. Then here, there's 4 making 45, it's 180 quartz crystal, and that then just goes into those chests and Dimensional Depot. Which I had another issue with my power plant, because for some reason one of the things just keeps backing up. Don't know why. It's an issue that I reckon redoing it would fix, but I don't feel like it. So I fixed it temporarily, and in that time I have got that many quartz crystals and that silica total for about an hour worth. Probably that building up, that is pretty good. What I feel like doing now is doing something with sulfur. I also have been working on a new factory, it's much larger, and it makes, well, not much, a bit larger, and it's making more advanced parts. such as like computing crystal oscillators. That's for later. So I'm thinking just to do some sulfur research and maybe to build like some sort of plant that makes all the weapons and sulfur stuff, as well as getting whatever the next field upgrade is. I can't remember what it's called, but getting that. So I'm going to go look on the wiki to see what can be made with sulfur. Look for a good sort of location that's near both my fuel and also my resource nodes, and just see what I can come up with. I'll probably explain what I'm going to make beforehand, and just depending on how big the factory is, maybe time lapse it, maybe just cut to finish. We'll all see once I've worked out how big this factory is. So I've now designed the factory I'm going to make, which we can see here. So what it's going to make, 250 rifle ammo, because what I plan to do is, actually I might, what's that, smokeless powder, might actually increase that to 300 rifle ammo, because I plan to use that for the other rifle ammo later on. And then from that 300, so I thought we're making 16 package turbo fuel a minute, which is just using the 20. Oh wow, probably have it. It's actually 17, but on 16 it confuses it. Which is simple enough. It's just 12.8 compacted coal, which is fine. Then I also, we ignore that, 15 cluster nobelisks, 15 normal nobelisks, and 15 explosive rebar. That's going into one factory, nice and simple. Just uses a bit of iron, a whole load of coal, tiny bit of oil. Because I always have one oil node that I just use up for all the small factories. And I'm just going to use the 50 oil for that. So I'm going to just skip to when it's finished, because I reckon time-lapsing this would use up too much space. So I'll just cut to once everything's done and take you on a tour, because I think this one might be big enough to turn into more of an actual factory. So I'll see you once I've done that. So it's taken me a while, but I have now finished the factory. It's pretty big. As you can see, it's actually, I think, it could be my biggest factory yet. Compares the actual factory size of that without the generators, I'm pretty sure this one is bigger. But what happens is quite simple. So for the fuel that I need, it straight up just comes from there, comes along here, and pretend like that's straight, and then goes in to create some of the black containers. Turbo fuel is made inside here, which needs compact coal from this assembler here, which just uses sulfur and coal, which come from over there. Coal is over there in like the red forest, and then the sulfur comes from somewhere up in the cliffs, as well as the iron, copper and limestone. Over here is where the copper and iron is smelted and used. The rifle ammo is made here, which then goes into here. This other one is where, as you can see there, the packaged turbo fuel comes out. This is where the explosive rebar comes out. And then in here is, I don't actually remember what they're called. Let's see, what are they? I forget how much better actually this jetpack fuel is. Lucky though, I'm pretty sure I still have enough packaged fuel for when I'm building, because it's not actually that good for that. So I have cluster nobelisks and regular nobelisks being made here. So overall it's quite a simple factory and relatively compact. I'm also making a ton of rifle armor, so in the future I can make the other rifle packs by just using a drone and sending off to a separate factory. But what I need to do now is make the rifle. I have this here, I can make it up. I only need one rifle for now. And I have one spot left for it there. As well as this, I need to collect some of my rifle ammo. That's a lot better. Now I'm going to be a lot less worried when I hard drive hunt, and that right there is an unconnected piece. I haven't done my checks yet. I think they should be making me 300 rifle ammo a minute. Obviously I'm still limited by that. But I think for now what I'm going to do is actually upgrade how much items I can store in the Dimensional Depot. Which I think that's only 3 of the Mercer Spheres. Yeah, yes, that's right, it's only 3 Mercer Spheres. Need some SAM fluctuators. Right, 3 Mercer Spheres. Research to alien technology. And upgrade how much storage I can have. Let's listen to Ada now quickly.
Dimensional expansion increased to 200%. Refining manipulation of SAM allows us to now deconstruct non-living matter down to its atomic components in one dimension, and store it in basic bound states in another.
We do not resonate with the tribute song. Do not worship at the window. Desecrate our temple gifts. This shallow serenade is sour insult.
My intention was not to encroach, if that is what upsets you, nor was it to dispose of material I do not waste.
So that Ada's finished. I've also noticed that I can get the other something in these Quartz research, which is the Blade Runners. I researched that.
Blade Runners unlocked. Equipped to run faster, jump with greater force, and decrease fall damage that might otherwise have lowered your value to fix it.
That's better. Oh yeah, that makes that much nicer to move around. So now I've done that, I think I'm going to end the episode here. But overall, I think it went pretty well. This one's actually taking me the longest yet. But I think it went pretty well. I think in my spare time I'm just going to go around and click some more power slugs. Not going to bother record it, since I just need more of the items. But then next episode I already have a plan, which is to create this factory here, which just makes other parts. Yet again, it's a 4-part factory. It needs to be made somewhere near oil, but I'm also going to have it as a power plant as well. Needs quite a bit of oil, so it can't be in this area, but I do know that somewhere in the map there's oil around there, so it'll be in that area. Small power plant alongside it just to increase my power infrastructure, and I might even turn it into a turbo fuel plant as well. But that's just later me stuff once I've worked out what I have and what. If not, I just do a normal plant. But if you have actually watched the video, which I know yet again no one has, but if you have, thanks, and I'll see you next time for my next factory. So goodbye.